could dive deep into it or not, and you don't, we're happy.
But nobody can ever take away your love and your wisdom.
And she's always waiting on me. So welcome back, everybody, to the Dr. Jim and Jodie show. As I will just go ahead and take the lead on opening us up. Again, no problem with that. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed that you're here.
Glad we're talking about mindset.
Yeah, hi guys.
Which is our topic.
Go ahead.
That's a good one. Go ahead.
I think it's a really good one.
Do you ever find yourself just waiting for others? Where does that truly come from? That was a question that we just got.
He's stirring already. Yeah, as he rolls his eyes. So, the topic today is about limiting mind beliefs and things that you, and stories, basically really BS stories that you tell yourself in order to keep yourself complacent where you are, or things that you do in order to protect yourself or not allow yourself to step into your greatness. And I've been experiencing a lot of that this summer. This one here, love him dearly, but he likes to challenge. So he has a way of saying things, and I'll be all with them, and then a couple days later I'll be like, oh, well, yeah.
He was right.
Not always right, but I see your point of view. So, what are some limiting mind beliefs that you have?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Or you just want me to make some up? None. No, probably the biggest one this summer for me has been content. Like this type of content. I don't know, it's really difficult for me to be on this side of the camera without talking to somebody and having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Like I think I have a lot more strengths in sitting across the space, being able to see, and interact with somebody back and forth, because then the conversation can go different ways based on the points of view that either one of you have, or recognizing different points of view and then being able to handle the conversation from that end. On this side, it's been, well, there's only one point of view, that's my point of view, or your point of view, or our point of view, without being able to...
Which usually isn't the same.
Which isn't been able to see how she just starts interrupting?
Oh!
Without just...
Watch the other videos, guys. Go ahead.
Are you done?
Go ahead.
This one's supposed to be a very serious topic. No, but now there's no conversation on the other side of that until this is, until we see the feedback, and then we get questions, and now we're handling the conversation like in a delayed way almost. So like this question that came in was in from last week, and now we're handling it this way. But so for me, it's been coming up with content to be able to deliver it, and then not only deliver it, I don't know how it's landing on the other side. Mm-hmm. So probably my biggest limiting belief through creating content has been: are people even listening? Does it even matter? And what, and how do I know if it's actually landing? So why am I doing this? And then you start backtracking, like, well, then I shouldn't even do it, because I don't even know if anyone's listening. So then there's one question of self-doubt or lack of confidence or whatever it is, then breeds a different question. But the first question typically never got answered for you. So now all of a sudden you have two questions of limiting beliefs or lacks. Now all of a sudden there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now all of a sudden you're bombarding yourself because you never had the answer to the first question or sought it out. And now all of a sudden you're bombarded by 10 to 15 or 20 of them, so it's easier just to move on and try to create something else, or just move on to something different. So that's been the biggest challenge for me this summer.
Okay. So let's talk about your daily nuggets.
What about them?
Mm-hmm. So that was something that is a limiting mind belief set with you. And then...
Oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to set me up.
It worked.
We'll watch. It doesn't work. Because she wanted me to, she thought like I was, that was me being vulnerable, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like, no guilt over here, that's for sure.
No, but you've got a lot of people reaching out to you and telling you that they like them, and why aren't you doing them? What about the message you got the other day right on Instagram about it? You know?
I think she's just probably giving me flack.
Oh, okay. And that's a limiting mind belief set? To give yourself permission not to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So go ahead, what was your question?
My question is that, it's not even a question, it's a statement, it's a truth. That, so you didn't get one answer, but you did get your answers because you had a ton of feedback and they were telling you that you like it, they like it from you, but then you went into this self-doubt like, I get it, I totally get it, because then you start running stories in your head like, oh gosh, now I stepped into this, now I have to step into this, and I have to step into this, and I can't do this without this happening, and there's consequences on a different level, like how we were talking about your consequences for, you know, our fun summer, right? And letting things go. So now there's consequences of stepping into your greatness, because then you're always accountable to making it better and better and better. So there's that limiting, I have that on my limiting mind belief set on that. Like, okay, I know I need to pull the trigger on some things and it's lined up, it's there. It's just 100% there, and I just have not pulled the trigger on it because I know once I make that decision and say yes, that the floodgates open up. So then I'm like, oh, and like you said, then you really have to step into your power and what you have to do with things, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I think one of the challenges as well with like staying on that topic is there's sometimes you're going to produce content or you're going to do things that like just like have a hit or seemingly have a hit where there's so many people enrolled around you, or you've done something great at work and you've had the whole office there to like applaud you, and it was like you closed the biggest deal, or weekend warrior, you had a great game, whatever it was, and then the next weekends that follow up seemingly weren't so exciting,
Right.
or weren't that excitable, or didn't create excitement around the people. And depending on how your mindset is or be able to handle that, then it could also think like, am I showing up? Am I performing the way that I was last week? So it can just be this perpetual downfall, of negativity if you just make sure that you're, if you're not grounded within the reason that you're doing it in the first place. So I think that was a lot of people that I got to give thanks to: Lisa Nichols, Dr. Dan Bai, Dr. Jared Morrow, were a few that had stuck out, that had called me right away and were like, anything like from a content point of view that you're sharing, it doesn't have to be unique and created from nothing that no one's ever heard. Like your voice or whatever you do is going to have a different spin on it, even if it's the same topic from mentors or family or colleagues or friends. It's going to be your voice, your experience, and the way that you communicate it to another individual that may land that didn't land from somebody over here, no matter how great of a person that you think they are. So, it's just really important to, continue to, to be able to be there, show up, and, produce that content no matter the way you feel that it's going to land.
Right, because it's kind of like, if it's your calling and you know what you're calling and you're supposed to do it, you just need to do it, because a delayed obedience is the same as being disobedient. It
Right.
really is,
I forget who, there's a great quote that's always reminded me of: a good plan today is better than a great plan tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like, do it, put it out, get whatever it is
Yeah.
done, so that way you can move on to the next thing, learn from whatever it is that you did or you weren't doing that day, and then, progress yourself and, improve upon it tomorrow.
Yeah, there was another topic that came up too, and I kind of call it the imposter Theory. You know, I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. And it's, so I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm more educated. They've done it before me. I don't have enough money. I have this. What if they find out about this about me? I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too young. All of that nonsense, you know? Because going back to just what you said is, your story is going to change a person's life, the way that you land it. He doesn't see a lot of the stuff that goes on. He's not one to turn around, look at the camera, and review in the stuff that we do. Like when we send you out a video, the video's out, and he's like, okay, you take care of it. But the feedback that you guys have been giving, like when we did that one with Lisa Nichols a couple weeks ago, it was cool because we're just two people that, like, he's over here, I'm over here, but we meet in the middle and we give you guys stuff. And one of the comments that I fell in love with was that the two of you together are a life force synergy, and that the energy that comes out makes me want to be a better person and accept who I was and everything I've done, you know. So give yourself permission for whatever you've done, and it was a growth, you learn from it, and don't let that hold you back, you know. You make a decision, you make it right, and move forward, because every single one of you have a greatness inside of you. Every single one of you have a light inside of you. Don't freaking turn that light down for nobody. Just you shine your light, and then you never know who's watching, because then you're going to inspire somebody else, and then they're going to inspire somebody, and it's just, isn't that what it's about? Just like really just turning up that light and feeling great about yourself and your life, and teaching other people how to love themselves and not beat themselves up anymore, and just step into their greatness.
Yeah, and I think that goes along with the conversation of, you know, meeting people where they're at. Mm-hmm. And no matter where you're at in life or whatever your story, as long as you feel like that's your deep, like, driven passion to share, mm-hmm. Let's just say it was nutrition and exercising, but you felt you were overweight, you know, and you weren't the authority to deliver that message to clients or to your community, and people wouldn't want to listen. You never know, you know, just because of where you're at, that voice may reach somebody that is in the most tip-top shape, has the cleanest nutrition, you know, went to Harvard, you know, whatever it was, that has maybe more authority, but their voice isn't going to be able to reach possibly the people that you are based on the reception of the audience, right. Not being there where this person right. is. They already look at them like, that guy's intimidating, they have all this, and then you come along and they're like, that's who we want to coach us, or that's who or why we're listening to them. So,
and that's what's the great thing is, you know, sometimes we're ashamed of, you know, like my adrenals were in failure, and Chris is the one next door who figured it out, and I'm teaching yoga and I'm 50 pounds overweight, and I was just like, I'm clean eating, exercising exactly how I was supposed to, and finally I was like, just, you know, I prayed and I was like, just help me, you know, and Chris shows up in my life and we figure everything out, and I get back to who I'm supposed to be. But during that time that I was overweight, I had a lot of ladies that were older that came to me, and gentlemen too, that were like, okay, you're not a Barbie doll, and I feel comfortable being around you, you know. I had the education behind me, but the perceived look was different, you know. So again, just what you're saying, like sometimes you're put in situations to learn and express and grow. So understanding, like, I don't care how hard you're working out, if there's something medically wrong with you, you got to get it fixed somehow, some way, you know. So it was fascinating, you know, as to how that happens, you know. Even like one of the girls that comes here, she was in chiropractor school. She didn't like it, remember? She just quit, you know. And then she was down on herself, and you were like, it's okay, you know, it's okay. So now she's finding a new road, you know, but she at least experienced that, so then she can say that, you know what, that's not for me, and then stepping into something else. So then that gives other people her age permission to try stuff, and if it's not working, then that's her story. I went here, I did this, but now I'm over here and I'm doing this, you know. So your story matters, it really does. So don't hold yourself back because of your story or your environment or any of that.
Yeah. So just make sure that you know, it's, again, surrounding yourself with your tribe, asking people, you know, what they see in you, that message you're delivering. Maybe there is a reason that you're not feeling excited around delivering whatever message that is, because maybe that's really not your voice. Maybe you think it is. Maybe somehow there's, something been thwarted in what your passion really is and the message in the way that you're trying to deliver it as well too. So just being able to have that conversation with the people around you, and so that they can help support you, in your voice and guide your voice as well.
Yeah, that's stepping into that one. I'm done teaching. I know that. I'm done teaching yoga and all that stuff, and it's really hard for me to say that, but I'm just not passionate about it anymore. I like being the student with it, but I want everybody else to do theirs, and this is what I'm passionate about, getting on stage and speaking in a different way. And a lot of people were really upset with me when I said I'm not going to teach anymore, because they had that attachment to that's who I was. But I really like who I am now, and I'm learning a lot about myself. So if you know in your soul that, you're done with something, it's okay. Give yourself permission to be done with it, and even step back and like you said, I think in this episode, that get back to your basics, or in the last episode, get back to your basics. So me being a student again lit this fire inside of me again, and now we're off into a whole nother realm. So just, your intuition is spot on, guys. Your gut tells you, and yeah, just don't let your gut pretend that your gut is telling you something so that you can stay in afraid. That's not cool. Don't allow yourself to stay in afraid and be fearful. But if your gut is telling you I'm done with something and I need to move on and explore new things, give yourself permission to do that. Don't limit yourself because you went to school here and you did this and that's what you chose to do, and so now you have to ride out the rest of your life like that. That's not true at all.
Yeah. So find your passion, find your voice, and deliver it.
Yay.
That's my homework.
I like your homework. Yeah.
Of course, it's never really wrong. It's just
Yep. Challenging.